Is it recording?
We are recording.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Welcome back to the channel. I have my beautiful wife with me today.
My handsome husband.
And I have a split lip.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I cut my lip doing something stupid. But anyway, today we're going to talk about a subject that we talked about. It's been 3 years since we made a video about mental health. And there's been a lot of it in the news lately. And a lot of people talking about going to therapy. So we thought we would, I don't know, bring up, I know it's uncomfortable for a lot of people to talk about, but I was talking to her because she's been in a mental facility before about how it's co-ed and how I thought that was probably not a good idea. So she wanted to share her experiences.
So when I first went into the mental institution or facility, I didn't know who I was. It was very scary. It almost felt like I had dementia and I didn't know who I was. And it was like I was watching a movie, a horror movie that I couldn't control. And when I got in there, it was filled with people with all different types of mental disorders, like bipolar, schizophrenia, depression. We're all just thrown into one room with males and females. And it was very uncomfortable. I was hit on a lot. I had guys trying to kiss me, and you know, if you don't know what's going on, it's a scary situation to be in.
Even if you do know what's going on.
Yeah.
You're in there with a bunch of lunatics.
Mm-hmm. And when I started to come back and get my mind, you know, figuring out who I was, nurses already, you know, didn't believe me, and I had no one to talk to. I was trapped, and so I feel like it really should be separated.
Yeah, I feel like the staff, they see so much that they kind of get desensitized to the people coming in. And they shouldn't have people that are severely mentally ill in with the people that are just, there should be like different levels to like intake and then have you separated and evaluated. Like it just seems like they don't even know what they're doing.
They saw me as, oh, this girl just doesn't know who she is and she's lost her mind, and we're just going to throw in her a room with the schizophrenic lady who the next day was trying to chop my head off. She said she wanted to chop my head off, and I was roommates with this lady for at least a week. And I remember waking up some nights and seeing her standing at the end of the bed staring at me sleep. And it's horrifying. I feel sorry for other people that are stuck there having to go through the same experience I went through.
I mean, some people are just stuck in there and don't have anybody on the outside. Like I was trying to get her out, even though I took her out too early. She was telling me all kinds of crazy stories. Like she found teeth in her pillowcase. Remember you told me that?
Yeah, I actually forgot about that until you just brought it up. Yeah, I was on my way out and we had to take our pillowcases off and clean our sheets and bring them to the advisor before you left. And I saw that there was teeth that I was sleeping on for 2 weeks.
I mean, I'm just couldn't get over the co-ed thing. Like she was scared. She was calling me and saying that there was a guy that was like harassing her, and she went and told the staff, and they didn't even really care. I don't remember what they said to you. What I remember,
I definitely can't remember.
Yeah, they kind of just brushed it off. They were like, you know, stop being an idiot, or I don't remember what they said. Stop acting like a whore. Didn't she say something like that to you?
Yeah, she did. And I remember, I hate to say it, I felt like they didn't like me, because I really don't want to say it. There's a certain reason why she didn't like me, I believe. And I would go up to her and I would say, hey, you know, I love your earrings. And in 2 seconds, she would change her earrings. Like she just had it out for me. And I went up to her and I remember telling her that this guy was trying to kiss me, and she told me to quit being a whore. And I told the advisor that I was getting better. I needed to leave, even though I know I needed to stay somewhere else, not that place. I needed help. I needed professional help. And I was just put in a zoo, and it was awful.
And I remember she pointed out the guy who it was, and I came to visit her, and it took a lot for me not to do something. But I had 2 kids at home, so I was like, I can't leave them alone. But I would have probably killed that guy if I would have got even started what I wanted to do.
Yeah. I remember he came in to visit me. I think it was after, a week. And he sat down. And it was the first time that I started talking like myself again. And he started tearing up, and I started tearing up. And I really never thought that I was going to be here again talking like I am right now. And he was so supportive for me. And I hope that whoever's going through what I went through out there, or something even worse, that you have a support system like I did with him, because the facility that I went to was not somewhere I needed to be.
But also, it didn't end there. Like, you're supposed to get help, like continuing help after you get out. And she was still having a lot of problems, so
The system failed me, for sure. I finally got a diagnosis after 2 months that I was bipolar 1 with rapid cycling. And I finally found a therapist that I could talk to and figure myself out. And then after a week of talking to her, she literally told me she needed to leave. She was going to leave, and that she was going to go work with the Jeffrey Dahmers of the world. And then I got put on with another therapist, and I had her for literally maybe a week or 2. And then she said she was moving up to upper management. Here's a few articles you can read. Good luck. And after that, I just, Matt saved my life with working out. And that's the only thing that's really helped keep me sane.
So that really brings me to my point is, I've always said that therapy with a stranger, in my opinion, is kind of useless. Like, based off what I've seen, these people really don't care. There are therapists that care out there, but they're probably few and far between. She's had, I don't know how many, 5 or 6 over the last few years. They don't seem like they even know who she is when she calls them. Like, they don't care. She's just another, how is that going to help?
I'm just a paycheck, really.
Yeah.
I remember one person, I missed my appointment, and she called me and she said, just leave my check underneath the door, which I get, everyone needs to get paid, but I just felt like I was a transaction to her, I didn't feel like.
I mean, you could sit and talk to the wall. If you want to get it off your chest, talk to the wall. These people don't know you. They really don't care. I mean, I don't blame them. If you're not empathetic, you have to have a relationship usually to feel empathetic towards somebody. Like, she can talk to me because I'm her husband. I care about her. But you talk to a stranger that's never met you. What is the odds that they're going to care? Pretty fucking slim. Sorry for using the language, but. And like I said, I'm sure there are some therapists out there that do care. But based off what I've seen, there's not many. And I've gone to therapy before too. I've had people in the past tell me I need this guy. And it didn't do anything. I could tell the people they weren't even listening. And there's a lot of people going to therapy now. It's big business. And I think they need to change some shit. Like, I know some people are probably going to get offended. Some people that are therapists are going to see this and be like, that's bullshit. But change my mind then. Step up, start a program, change the way the system works. They need to change that from co-ed for sure. I know like the gender stuff is a big issue these days, but there's a difference between men and women in a facility. Men, somebody could overpower somebody and rape them. And they need to separate people based on their, level of mental.
Actually, my mom is a nurse at a mental hospital now. She was the ER nurse for 20 years and decided to move to Tennessee and be and work at a mental institution instead. And this homeless man who was in his 30s decided to have sex with a bipolar woman who was like 19, and he was depressed, homeless, off the streets, and he had a lookout guy watch the door while he had sex with this woman. And he finished his business in her, I hate to say, and he left, and they had no way of contacting this man to tell him that he had gonorrhea from this lady, because
I'm sure he found out.
yeah, he couldn't get any health. He couldn't get any help because he had no phone number. He was homeless on the streets, and that's exactly why it should not be co-ed.
Well, there's
other reasons, but that's one of the issues for sure.
Yeah, they need to start some kind of movement to try to change that, because there's a lot more people, like especially with COVID and people being isolated, there's a lot more mental health cases, and people are going to therapy. I see ads all the time on my phone. Everybody's in therapy. But is it really working? I mean, we're having more and more school shootings. People are going crazy. Like, they need to change something. It's obviously not working. I like to hear in the comments what people think. I know some people are probably going to argue with us about this, especially people that are actually therapists. But
and it's not even co-ed, I have to say. It's also what
level you are.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
are you violent?
There needs to be different segments or
I think they do.
rooms.
They do compartmentalize it, I think, to a certain degree.
Not this place.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories like this.
Everyone was in there.
It's different. You hear about stories, but it's actually your wife. I couldn't sleep for the whole few weeks that she was in there. I couldn't sleep every night because I was thinking, like, this guy's going to do something to her. And I would call, and I said stuff too, and they just kind of blew me off too.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to like start trouble. I didn't want them to like take it out on her, so I didn't know what else to do.
I remember patients were answering the phone on my phone calls and hanging up on them whenever I tried to get a phone call. Like, it was just chaotic. There was no order. It was just...
I know we don't want to say which facility, I don't want to get sued or what insurance we have, but it was in Rockville.
Message me and I'll let you know.
I mean, it's supposed to be a pretty, prestigious place. I mean, it has the reviews on it. I don't know. But who are writing the reviews? The people that work there, the people that own it? I don't know. And
I tried to call in and report the nurse that was just being awful to me, and
nothing happened.
Nothing happened. I couldn't get a hold of anyone. It took me 5 times, and then they were like, just call back, and I never got a hold of anybody.
And we're still,
they don't care.
When's the last time you talked to the therapist that you're supposed to talk to regularly?
It's been probably about 2 years.
Yeah. It started off like they would, and then they would switch it like every few weeks as like a new person. Like, oh, you have to tell them your story again. They don't even care. They're not even like paying attention when you're talking. I went with her first few times, and the first lady was okay. She was. I could tell she didn't care that much, but at least she was listening. But she didn't know us. Why would she? You know what I mean? That's her job. She's getting paid. That's all she's thinking about, in my mind. I like to hear what everybody else has to say. I know this video is not like an upbeat video, but there's been a lot of stuff in the news about mental health, so I figured we would put our opinion out there.
And on a positive note, I'm medicated.
And she's doing really good.
I haven't lost my mind in, 2-3 years now?
Over 3 years.
Over 3 years, yeah. It only happened that one time.
It lasted a while. But,
I was on Unisum sleep medication for 2 years because I couldn't sleep with my son. He was 2. All the hormones, and looking at the Unisum bottle, it says only take for 7 days. And so when I stopped after 2 years, it says it can cause hallucinations, and I'm pretty sure that's what triggered my mania, my bipolar.
Well, also she was eating marijuana edibles at the same time she was coming off, and it kind of just kicked her right into psychosis.
I'm pretty sure there was pesticides. I have a feeling.
I don't know if it was that or
I don't know.
Just pushed her. We really don't know what happened. But
there's a lot of questions, but I just slowly started turning into someone else. I went to work and.
Yeah, we made a video 3 years ago. If you want to check that out, I'm telling the story, not like I detail it kind of. I don't put every single detail out there because I don't want to put everything up, but you get an idea. And it was the worst thing I've ever gone through. I don't want to go through that ever again.
Me too.
And at one point, I was facing 7-8 years in prison, and it was worse. That anxiety was nothing compared to what this was for me. So, hope you semi-enjoyed the video. I know it's a touchy subject. Let us know what you think in the comments.
And if you ever need anyone to talk to,